Welcome to No Batter, the baseball podcast about baseball. I'm Max. I'm here with Josh and Tim. We're talking. You're listening. We're sorry.
Should we talk about Kyle Schwarber?
It's amazing that Kyle Schwarber fucking sucks. I love it so much. I'm so happy.
Okay, so I will say, because I don't compliment you often, especially with respect to baseball predictions.
Marcell Ozuna, NL MVP.
Yeah, that was a great prediction. I think mine was Dallas Keuchel actually rebounding to Cy Young for him. Max, what was yours?
I think Mookie Betts, second place AL MVP.
Yeah, we'll go with that one.
Yeah,
sure.
definitely.
Oh.
And Benintendo's having a pretty good season. Chris Sale's having a pretty good season. I made some pretty, but this isn't about me, guys. This is about the respect that I have
For women.
It's not funny. That's not funny.
How was Wonder Woman?
I haven't seen it yet. So the thing, Tim, I got to give you credit. Of the three of us, you were the only one who called prior to the season that Kyle Schwarber.
Wow, he just fucked that up.
He looks so much like a Carl.
He does.
Get in your DeLorean. Go back in time. Meet Pete and Shirley Schwarber. And be like, dudes, don't give him a Kyle. Give him a Carl.
Give him a Carl. Give him a Carl. All right, so Kyle Schwarber. You were the only one of the three of us who called that Schwarmy Starber would be shit this year.
Yeah. Well, shawarma sandwich. It's because you don't see very many fat guys be very good consistently.
Especially coming off of a massive leg injury.
Yeah.
The ones you do see being consistently good, though.
Make that list. Who you got? Who's a consistent fat guy?
Prince Fielder.
Yeah, I was going to say Prince Fielder.
Oh, that guy whose career ended 5 years before his career ended?
Yeah, but we're talking about a guy who's like 2 years into his
Cecil
career.
Fielder.
Yes.
A guy who had to go to Japan in the middle of his career?
We're talking about a 24-year-old. This is the point where the fat guys are good.
Was Jim Tomey fat? No, right?
He was
Jim Tomey looked like Mr.
Big boned.
Impossible.
Yeah,
he was
fair.
big boned.
Mo Vaughn wasn't consistent.
Mo Vaughn was consistent. Greg Vaughn was not consistent.
Greg Vaughn wasn't fat.
Both fielders. I want to say Tony Gwynn was a fairly reminiscent.
Tony Gwynn is your only one that I won't fight, John.
Yeah. He was nice
gentleman.
and portly.
Yeah.
Trying to think of other fat first
But it's
basemen because
pretty-
it's pretty much all first basemen.
Yeah.
and then David Schwimmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you did
Yeah.
you called it. You were like, he's gonna suck, and I'm gonna think it's funny. And Josh and I were like, shut up. This is the year where he hits like 500 home
Yeah,
runs.
well, my first year playing auction fantasy baseball, I was so worried about busting my load early, but the one player I spent all my money on was Schwarber. One, because catchers, there's not a lot of good catchers in the league.
Yeah, so is next year.
And I spent
Pretty
all my
much,
money
yeah.
on him. And he is awful. Like, he strikes out 3 times a game.
Yeah.
His first game in AAA, 1 for 4 with 3 Ks. Like, his
He's
mechanics are
reaching.
fucked. His
Yeah.
mental at this point.
Well, and like Madden had him batting leadoff, which
I
is
loved that move in the beginning of the year.
yeah, it was really cute until it stopped working, and then
Yeah.
you ruined
Yeah.
this like highly touted prospect who's a big fat guy.
Which leads to my next topic, which is how scared am I? Go ahead, Josh. Just do it.
what is this? The Bachelorette?
Okay, I'm ready now.
That TV show is like 75% kissing noise. Anyway,
I wouldn't know. So I don't watch it.
I want the rose.
I just threw up.
Kyle Schwarber, you were saying.
No,
Sammy Shawarma.
how scared am I about Anthony Rizzo batting leadoff for the past like 2 weeks?
Oh God, right?
Which is really weird because I feel like I bet Joe Madden's a lot of fun at parties. Like a whole lot of fun at parties.
But
And
Is he fun
tells
at the fourth party? Because I think that's what we're looking at now.
No, he's
Yeah.
not. He's fun at the first 3 parties until you realize that all of those hilarious stories he's telling, it's not that he like has a deep well of really interesting, fun friends who he makes good times with. It's that he goes to parties and makes one-time friends who do tricks. This is falling apart, guys.
No, I see where you're going, though.
You kind of see where,
I see where you're
it's
going.
like, oh man, Anthony Rizzo's batting leadoff. What else you got? No, I just did that and it worked once, so I kept doing it. And that was my
He
thing.
still bats his pitcher eighth.
Yeah.
He does weird things. But how many interesting things can you do?
I mean, I think that's it, though. It's like he's there to break up the monotony.
Yep.
But what he actually needs is to be a disciplinarian after so much fun for that team and like balance it out a little bit. And I don't know that he's got that skill. And like he might be the ideal manager for a team that makes the playoffs but doesn't win.
Okay, so we went from Schwarber to Madden. That's fine.
So,
in the same vein, do we think the Cubs can rebound? Because they're super.
That division still sucks.
Yeah, they're favored.
Yeah.
That division is really, really weird. I have a very specific question for you, Tim. You once said that a manager...
I was 17.
I didn't take it that seriously. No, you once said on this podcast,
This august institution.
August and Clement institution. You once said that a manager is going to lose you more games than they win you.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can manage your way to a loss, but you can't. Yeah.
Yep.
So at time of recording, Cubs are just about a 500 team,
Mm-hmm.
and at this time of the season, we were expecting them to be about 10 wins over 500.
Yep.
How much of that discrepancy would you credit directly to Joe Madden?
That's a good question. I would have to say that like I look at so many of those guys, and it in the same way I would look to Terry Collins to be like, what could we have gotten from you for Matt Harvey? Right? Like I think that's the kind of comparison here where it's like where you're the boss, where you're the big brother, where you're the leader, where you're those things to kind of keep people on task. And that's a much harder one because it's not the tactical error that like the Robin Ventura loses you games constantly, right? I watched him manage his way out of wins fucking constantly. But like I'd probably put 3 of those games under 500. Like maybe not all of it because like coming off last year's magical season, like you can't recreate that, but also like setting the right tone for like, all right, motherfuckers, now work. This is yours to defend.
I feel like the Mets being a solid like dozen games under 500 has got to go back to that coaching. It's
Injuries.
I go back to the fact that they weren't good in the first place.
Injured.
Yeah, well, but
Harvey injured.
Yeah, but it's like
Matt's injured.
Non-contact.
Lucas Duda playing.
Jose
Non-contact
Reyes playing.
injuries to starting pitching. Guys who are getting injured from going out and throwing when they shouldn't. Who are getting stretched too deep into games. This is sort of...
Yeah, that's fair.
This comes back to the great baseball thesis that I will never, ever do the research to write. What was it about the Tampa Bay Rays system that brought up those really good pitchers 15 years ago whose arms all blew up when they left Tampa?
Yeah, lack of an MRI machine before the draft.
Hellickson, Kazmir, Moore. I feel like every time I talk about
Cobb.
this, I lose a pitcher.
Yeah.
Oh, Alex Cobb. Yeah, that's another one.
Cobb.
I'll allow it.
Apparently, I'm the only one who's seen Wrath of Khan. All right, fine, you dicks.
By the way, they didn't just test it. They sprayed them with gay bombs. If you're a new listener, just type in Pentagon tested gay bomb. I mean, it's just like scum, Nazi filth, trash, garbage, maggots. I mean, it's on record they know it's corn syrup and bisphenol.
Can I ask you guys like a kind of existential question?
Yeah, this is the baseball podcast about existential questions.
Yeah. Is the essence of being a fan lying to yourself? That the team that you like should win? Because, like, I watch White Sox games, and I want them to win. And they shouldn't win. They're fucking bad. But I'm like telling myself, like, no, I want them to win. Like, it's cool if they win. It's fun if they win. I like it when they win. They should win.
I would spin it back to you. Are you asking about the essence of being a sports fan or the essence of being a White Sox fan?
Sports fan. You think your team should win every day.
Mm-hmm.
You think your team
should or want?
Yeah, if you're.
I have trouble.
Do you feel like the White Sox are underperforming right now?
They're massively overperforming.
So you don't think they should win every day. You want them to win every day.
In the same way, every day that's not a sunny and 72 kind of day, I'm like, it should be nicer out.
Okay.
But I recognize sometimes it's November.
Expecting them to win every day.
No, but I'm telling myself they like it.
But
like
it's possible.
I'm a little disappointed when they don't.
Yeah, because it's always possible. No, I don't think that's the essence of being a sports fan, Tim. I'm gonna take your douchey proposition and double down on it. I think it's the essence of being human.
Oh, God.
Go on, Max.
Welcome to Know Better, the baseball podcast about sophomore year. What do you got?
No. There are some similarities between watching sports casually and also gambling on sports and also gambling in general and also following the weather and also following the news and politics and you have an ideal outcome that you want.
Yeah.
That outcome is always possible.
To not think about your own death?
Very likely.
A second outcome then
very
too.
likely.
Yeah.
And in pursuit, that's why you like a team. That's why you talk about a team that's too good for too long as being boring, because the expectation is that they're going to win, and then it's all disappointment. You're not excited when they win, whereas
which is what it must be like to be a Yankee fan circa the 90s.
Yeah,
where you just wake up every day and you're like, oh yeah, no, World Series in the bag.
Whereas a Red Sox fan, 2017, I'm having a lot of fun because they were really, really bad for a while, and then the AL East was really competitive. And then a bunch of stuff normalized kind of recently. The Yankees lost about 10 in a row. The Orioles are the 500 team that we always knew they would be, and the Sox are in sole possession of first place. But that arc it's not about... It's all about having expectations in the game-to-game term as well as expectations in the long term. And you want it to be sunny 7 days a week. But people from places where the weather never gets shitty are boring for a reason.
So in summary, fuck you, San Diego, is how you're ending your thesis here?
Except for Legoland, you guys are cool.
To be fair, and to the viewer, Max loves when they put killer whales in too small of an aquarium. He just loves it. He loves mistreating large sea mammals. It's his favorite thing.
Well, how else are you going to see what they're made of, Tim? Fucking whales.
If you want out, I say get out.
Yeah, come on, bitch.
You Canuck sweater looking bitch.
I thought there was a shark.
No, it's a fucking killer whale. Look at it.
Really?
Yeah.
But I guess it's hard to tell the difference unless you can see the tail fin and then know which way. Is it up and down like a fishy or side to side like a whale?
This is No Better, the baseball podcast about fin talk.
You sure this isn't Fin Talk, the baseball podcast about? I can't.
Hockey sweaters.
To the viewer, for those of you who for whatever circumstance can't see today's reading, Tim's outfit is distracting.
It's distractingly Caucasian.
Yeah,
I
really
apologize.
is wild.
It's
little pink, little blue.
Yeah. Had a client meeting. Had to look like a guy with a job.
Tim actually showed up to the studio on a sailboat.
It's pretty great. It's kind of amazing that they let me take the sailboat off the river and straight into Soho, but here we are.
We must have more topics now. You know what we should have done? You know what we really should have done?
Made fun of Kyle Schwarber first.
I was going to say before launching into this wholly new recording infrastructure where we've had
Sorry if it sounds bad, listeners.
Get new software and install it on new hardware and do all of this very much on the fly. Is we should have done an audio test.
I'm watching it record right now. It's cool.
What is it recording?
Sound?
What sounds?
That we make with our mouths? Are you missing the thing where I'm watching the sound waves show up on the recorded thing on the screen right now?
Is it not plugged in? Why are you laughing?
How? What are you concerned about?
Welcome to No Batter, the baseball podcast about existential questions.
Are we good or not good?
Yeah,
really?
no, we're fine. We're totally
Jesus
fine.
fucking Christ.
Damn it, Max.
What? Did you not get the part where that transitioned from a real conversation to just...
I assumed you knew something.
I'm glad you don't.
Yeah, I'm glad you have no idea what you're talking about.